Oh. Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? Of course. Of course. Yes. Apparently it's time for another story. Now, a little while back in one of my other stories, I told you all about the night that I went to prom, which, if you remember, was an absolute nightmare. But that was not the only time that I tried to weasel my way into the smelly social system that was my high school. No, there was one other time, and only one. You see, when I went to prom as a senior in high school, I had broken a promise to myself. And this promise was made after I thought I had spent the worst night of my life as a freshman. Yes, this promise was made 4 years back, one autumn night, as I was sitting by myself in a suit on the front steps to my parents' house while I was just cursing to the skies. But let me take you back to where it all began. Summer of 2006 rolls to an end, and I'm just a starry-eyed young chap ready to begin his new life as a brand new high schooler. I'm ready to jump in. You know, get things started, shake things up a bit. I'm ready to meet new people, make new friends, and perhaps maybe find some lucky unsuspecting doe to reel in with my pudgy charm. Now, about 2 weeks in, word is already being spread about this dance that apparently everyone is attending. A dance? I love dancing. I'm gonna tear it up. I'm gonna tear it up! Now, at this time, mind you, I was trying to get involved in some groups around school, like band and choir and the like, and in one of these groups was a girl that I felt that if I asked her to this dance, she would say yes. But I had to do it right, because this girl just so happened to be a little older than me. I was an ambitious little guy, because as a freshman, I was about to ask this junior woman out for a night of wonderment. So there I was, being super sneaky. After she had just gotten done performing for a high school football game, she comes into the band room, and boom! Flowers. I ask her, and in a rush of flattery and possibly confusion, she said that she'd go with me. There it was, checkmate. Freshman going with the junior. I felt like the tallest man on earth. But you know, I had asked her quite a bit aways from when the actual dance was taking place, and within that time, I felt like my date wasn't so sure about all this. You see, our conversations about preparation for this dance became short and quick, and after a while, I became uneasy. But then the night came, and it was time for this guy to shine. She texts me and tells me that she's on her way, and I start to get anxiously excited. All of my fears and doubts start melting away because this was happening. I'm at the pinnacle of my expectations for how I wanted this year to be going. The doorbell rings. And it is her. There she is. I let her inside, and we wait for her friends to get there to take pictures before we head out for the night. The doorbell rings again, and it's her friends. We let them in, and the night can finally begin. We're inside taking pictures with each other, and all seems right, but then the doorbell rings for a third time. It gets so quiet in my house. Because who could it be? I mean, like, what do? I gotta answer the door. So I stand up and I'm walking and I look at my date and she gives me this face that says, "The Lannisters send their regards." I crack open the door and there stands before me a solitary gentleman donned in a suit complete with boutonniere. Yes? How can I help you? As I'm peeking through the crack as if I don't know he's part of the group. Yeah, are you Jared? I certainly am. And I friggin' open up the door and I let him in like a fool. I have no idea who this guy is. Why is he by himself? Who is he here for? And why does he smell so nice? Regardless, this guy comes inside, we take more pictures, then we head out for dinner. By this time, my date is awfully quiet. We go to some restaurant where the food was overpriced and not that great, but after that, we go to the school and I am just ready to dance because so far, this night was not going as well as I had anticipated. Now, as we pull into the parking lot, my date turns to me and does something kind of unexpected. She apologizes for how strange everything seems. Now, I'm not sure if she was just picking up on how uneasy I was feeling due to the circumstances or what, but after that, I did feel reassured that the night was just gonna get better from there. That is, of course, until we walked inside. Literally, the second that we walked through those doors, I go and turn over our tickets for the dance, go over, hang my coat up, I turn around, and she's gone. She freaking Nick Caged me and gone in 60 seconds. She was Nick Cage in Gone in 60 seconds. I mean, I panicked. My date was missing. What have I done? I've lost her. I was more concerned at that point about finding where she could have gone than actually having fun. I spent about half the night wandering around this place with no luck. Towards the end of the night, the slow song comes on, and I decide to make one last pass before calling it quits. And as I'm wandering through the crowd, I'm looking around, and there, in the middle of the dance floor, I see her. I'm more happy to see that my ride home is alive more than anything, but as I'm walking towards her, I see that she's not alone. With hands on her hip and her arms around his neck, I see the lone sir who showed up at my door earlier that night, dancing with my date. I done got played. In a state of defeat, I go and I sit on the bleachers for the rest of the evening until the lights turn on, at which point she comes over to me and asks if I'm ready to go. I say yes, I get my coat, and we go back out to the car. And let me tell you this, that ride home was absolute silence. We did not say a word to each other. She didn't even say anything to me as we pulled up into my driveway for her to drop me off. But as I unbuckled my seatbelt and opened the door, I looked at her in the face and I said, "Well, looks like you had fun." I shut that door so quickly and I walked away. I plopped myself down on the front steps of my parents' house and I watched as she drove away, and I promised myself that I would never go to another school dance again. That is, until my senior year rolled around.